Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this is Mail Monday, a weekly series where I look at your emails and respond. Let's get started. All right, this is going to be the juiciest one. I can't believe someone like you would associate yourself with someone as twisted as Alki. I thought you had strong moral values and stood up to that kind of BS. I thought you, the fact that you gave in and supported Alki's ways for money really disappoints me. I somewhat looked up to you and other YouTubers, and the fact that you went against everything you believe in disappoints me. As soon as I heard and saw Alki behave the way in front of an all-age audience, I thought you would be the one to speak up and say something, but I was wrong and no one said anything. In fact, you guys were all instigators. I realized some of it was somewhat sucking up to him, which is understandable because that's what you do sometimes to your superiors, but we all went too far and something should have been said. I know I'm not alone when I say this because many other YouTubers have viewers that acknowledge this as well. I haven't lost hope or support of you, but I'm very disappointed in you and other YouTubers as well. All right, good email. First, let me fill in the guys who have no idea what this is about. There's this event, the Billionaire's Challenge. There's $10,000 worth of prize money for the winning team. There are 6 captains. I am one of those 6. And last night we did a draft to grab the other 3 players that will make up a 4-man Black Ops team for this competition. Did I say already? It has $10,000 as prize money. Last night was the draft, and this draft event was supposed to be kind of cool. It was supposed to be like an NBA or NFL draft, but even better in that you got to be in the back rooms and sort of, be privy to our decision making. For example, I talked about how I'd really love to have Sam 5000. He's a totally beast player, but I'm not sure how effective he can be on a European connection with a California host. And you saw this stuff play out. Like, oh, do I want this guy with super gun skills? Do I want this guy with super team skills? Etc. So that was what the event was supposed to be. The event was supposed to be just, people drafting the rest of their team and kind of funny and entertaining with the slant and guys laughing. And it was supposed to be a cool place to hang out. Stuff happened that wasn't planned. The smaller one was he pulled out like sex toys and stuff, like a vibrator or whatever, during the show. And, to me, it's like, on one hand, sex toys, right? What's the big deal? You're good to go, baby. Have a good time. Consenting adults, etc. No big deal. On the other hand, it's totally not appropriate for my audience, and that I'm aware of that, and I get that it's wrong, and it won't be like that going forward. The even bigger thing was this. Alki David, the guy sort of behind this whole thing, said that he was going to pay a guy for the rights to live stream his assisted suicide. Right, so apparently he said there was a person in the Ukraine who was terminally ill, and they weren't going to kill him. He was going to end his life, I guess, with dignity and without pain before things got terribly, terribly wrong. But he was going to pay him for the rights to live stream it, which is pretty freaking shady stuff, right? Like nobody was really on board for that. And from there, we had a conversation today. And we said, we want to end this event. We don't want to be involved with it. People were pulling out. I was pulling out. I didn't want anything to do with it. And then we had this other idea, like, hey, what if instead of live streaming this thing, you gave our prize money to the family? Then you wouldn't have to live stream it. Everybody wins. We can just donate our money to the families of that are left behind, right? Because obviously, if a guy's giving you rights to film it, he's not doing it for himself. He's doing it for the people that he loves. But the guy wasn't real. That wasn't even an option because there is nobody in the Ukraine who's killing himself. There is no one who's terminally ill. That's just, the whole thing was kind of a joke, a troll that didn't go over well. And from there, it's like, what do we do? Do we end this event? One tricky thing about like me pulling out the event is it's not a decision I get to make in isolation, right? Maybe there are guys on my team who were really excited about the opportunity to do this, and I would be ending their opportunity. That seems bad in its own right. So where it is now, it's kind of up in the air. We're working with everyone. If it goes forward, then one thing that will definitely happen is it'll get cleaned up. No one wants to be involved in this thing if last night is the standard. If jokes about suicide and the sex toys being shown, for gags is the new standard, then we're not going to do it. We're not going to move forward. If we can clean it up and make this thing more age appropriate, because even though the stream, you had to say that you were 18 years old to do it or whatever, we all know who watches these videos, and not everybody's 18. So you have to keep that in mind and be responsible. So that's where it stands. The sort of everyone involved, and we've even talked to people who aren't involved in the competition to make sure that things are right. We're looking at this thing, trying to figure out if it's a good idea. We're going to talk it out. We're going to meet with Alki, and just know that the assisted suicide thing was never real. Also know that the way that the stream happened last night was, it was a surprise to everybody, and what am I going to say? I was surprised. And we're going to see. The event will either be cleaned up and moved on, or it'll be shut down. One of those two things will happen. Awesome message. Hey, Woody, thanks for reading this. I have a really good friend with a sister that flirts with me a lot. She's about my age. Every time we go to a movie, she always wants to sit with me. When my friend and I are playing games, she sits next to me and talks. Every time she sees me, she'll smile at me. She even privately told me that I'm her favorite one out of all her brother's friends. She tries to hang out with me a lot. I also sort of like her. She's really funny, smart, and beautiful. But I don't know what to do. Should I ask her out? Would it mess up my friendship with her brother? Should I just forget about it? All right. So there's this implication in your message that somehow, dating a girl is a bad thing to do to her. Yeah, I like her and everything, but I don't know if I'd want to do that to my friend's sister. I like my friend. Should I, do him wrong like that? And it's kind of the wrong attitude in my mind. Here's the thing. Going out with a girl, liking a girl, loving a girl, these aren't really acts of aggression, right? These are good things. And, I think the question comes from almost the wrong place. So in my mind, you are 100% clear to date your friend's sister. I think that's totally cool. And, if your friend loves his sister and likes you, then it'd be awesome if he viewed it as a potential really good matchup for her, right? I mean, you're not trying to hurt her. You're trying to love her. And this is an okay thing to do. The one warning I'll give you, my caution, is about the campfire rule. When you go camping, it's your obligation to make sure that the site is at least as good as you found it when you leave, right? Ideally, even better. You don't leave your trash behind. You don't cause any trouble. When you're dating your friend's sister, you need to make sure that you observe, this dating campfire rule. You need to make sure that she's not broken, that she's not, hurt or injured or comes out of this thing in a negative way, right? Look, you're probably not going to marry her, right? But she's going to be dating and loving and doing her thing anyway. Just make sure that if this thing breaks up, or when this thing breaks up, right? Would you say you didn't give your age, but I'm going to assume you're a teenager. Just when this thing breaks up, make sure that it kind of goes okay, right? Don't cheat on your friend's sister. Don't hit your friend's sister. Don't abuse her. Just when things drift apart, be honest with her. Hold your chin high and talk to her plainly, and make sure she understands that that things worked out okay and that everything is all right. So there you have it. I think it's totally all right to date a friend's sister. It's not as if dating is this act of aggression, as if it is this negative thing. It's it's an act of love, and that's all good. You're solid on this. Just make sure that you treat her really well, and you'll be all right. The last thing is this: as you initiate this process, which it sounds like it's already going, I would talk to your friend about it, and it's awkward and hard, but a good thing to say, look, I actually like her, she's going to be dating, why not me? I'll be really good to her, and promise to make sure that she's treated well and happy. If you do that, then things can only go right. So best of luck to you and her. All right, and now a quick word about two videos you may not have seen. The top one is about the Billionaires Challenge. It was, I put it up right before the draft, and I showed the list of people that we had to choose from. And I think I have a pretty good team. I'm excited about how it will go if it goes forward. But check that video out if you're curious about the Billionaires Challenge, if you're wondering what the whole brouhaha is about. And the bottom one, this was actually one, it was a conversation I had with a guy on an airplane, and I only link it even though it's a week old, because I got a lot of compliments that it was the best video that I've ever made. Fellow commentators were sort of reaching out to me saying, hey, Woody, that one was really good. Only Use Me Blade gave me a really cool compliment, which was it had this shut the fuck up, this is serious vibe about it. And, I didn't even know it was going to be good, but now I'm kind of proud of it. So I hope you guys enjoy the videos.